Images were taken, but we do know that this dark vehicle and this white car could lead police to the murder suspect or suspects who they believe killed Desmond Jacobs in October. Now, neighbors that I spoke with today tell me they feel the area is safe. There's a bus stop and a park that children frequent every day. But they say they do see a lot of suspicious activity here, and they tell me that's why they feel it could be difficult for police to find the car involved.
Practices and games, so a lot of traffic in and out, and it's just, and I know a lot of drug deals go on across the street, and hopefully that they can start watching this area a little bit.
I know the cars that are involved, they always come to the park. It's always the same ones, you know, and you can see what they're doing. And the police have come more since then, but they can't pull in there and the people are sitting in their cars, you know, and go up to their car because, you know, they don't see them do anything. What can they do, you know?
So at this point, police say there is something that the public can do. If anyone can identify the dark car or the white car that is seen in our story, they are urged to call police. That's 1-866-845-TIPS, and you may be eligible for a cash reward. And of course, if you do recognize that, you can remain anonymous. I'm live in Normandy Park. Francesca Emicker, Channel 4, the local station.
A stepped-up search for a missing UNF student as police say they moved into what they call the campus core. Earlier today, between 100 and 150 officers were out looking for any trace of 20-year-old George Louis Saint. His family was on the campus helping officers with the search. He was last seen leaving a party in student housing that had been broken up by police early Sunday morning. Police say he may have been upset after an altercation at that party. So far, police say they have turned up no good leads on where he may be.
Covering St. Johns County, where a man was crushed to death in an industrial accident. 57-year-old Dwight Cook was unloading doors at Manning Building Supplies in St. Augustine when he was crushed. A witness tells News4 Jax that Cook and other workers were moving heavy doors from one trailer to another when one man dropped a door, shaking the trailer. 3 other doors weighing about 200 pounds each fell onto the victim, killing him. The witness says Cook was checking labels and didn't see the doors falling.
Just 90 minutes ago, the Coast Guard ended its search for a passenger missing from a Jacksonville-based cruise ship who went overboard in the wee hours of the morning. Carnival Elation was bound for the Bahamas when a 24-year-old Georgia man was reported missing. Security video showed Kevin Wellens falling from the 11th deck near the Abacos in the Bahamas. His wife reported him missing yesterday when she had not seen him for about 6 hours. The Coast Guard says it searched 1,300 square miles of the ocean, an area roughly the size of Duval and Baker counties combined. More on a controversial statement by the owner of Cruiser's Grill at the beach.
How the owner is trying to make amends after his comments cost the restaurant business.
All right, Weather Authority alert day for tomorrow. The details not too intense, but could be rather impressive. I'll tell you why in the latest update in about 4 minutes.
And new details tonight about how a lineman was critically injured yesterday in Orange Park. Next.
Burke and Chevy of McLean.
We're learning more about a lineman who was shocked while doing electrical work near a strip mall in Orange Park yesterday. 18-year-old John Bowman remains in critical condition tonight.
Channel 4's Eric Avenier is joining us live with new information about the circumstances leading up to this accident. Eric?
Well, Tom, I learned that John Bowman was one of 4 crewmen who was at this exact location laying fiber optic lines when for some reason one of those lines came loose and caused an electrical disturbance with the power lines overhead, which ultimately led to 2 of the 3 transformers exploding. Olin Markham says around 5 o'clock Monday evening, he was inside his store when
we heard a quick boom, boom in succession, and obviously it sounded like transformers.
And that's exactly what exploded. Jennifer McGirt heard the same explosion while working at this car wash.
And I happened to look back at the transformer, and the transformer done blew again. And then, so I walked over, and then this guy was laying on the ground.
That guy was identified by Orange Park Police as 18-year-old John Bowman. Investigators say Bowman and 3 other crewmen were laying fiber lines when one of the lines got free and interfered with overhead power lines. As a result, 2 transformers exploded. According to police, Bowman and another crewman ran for cover, but Bowman stopped and said, quote, "I think it got me." Then police say he passed out. Bowman had been shocked. Several people ran to help.
I took his glasses off, and his eyes rolling back of his head, and then he had no pulse. So the guy started giving him CPR, and then he finally got a pulse, and then an RN, like a trauma nurse came in, and she was like checking his pulse, and then he lost again, but then the ambulance came and had to give him a shock.
Now, that shock is what restarted Bowman's heart. He was transported to UF Health in critical condition. Reporting live in Orange Park, Eric Avignon, Channel 4, the local station.
Helping you plan your day, Channel 4 is the weather authority.
So we're looking ahead to tomorrow and what we're expecting?
Again, a weather authority alert day. You know, sometimes we'll really play it up as a severe weather alert, or sometimes just to wake you up to the fact that it's been real nice and we've had some temperature fluctuations, but now we may actually get some storms or at least a good downpour to kind of disrupt your day. Take a quick look at the overall pattern. Again, Wednesday is all about very isolated severe storms. If we get one or two, that's pretty much all that we'll probably see. But if you get that severe storm in, let's say, Duval County, yeah, could be a big deal. And again, could cause some gusty winds over 50 miles an hour and possible hail as well. Tornado risk is pretty low, although we were tracking some nasty storms and tornadoes back out there towards Houston. Here's Live 5 Doppler radars right now. This is small craft advisory here and back into the Gulf of Mexico, where again, we are expecting it to be a Wednesday tomorrow on top of everything else. Current temperatures are basically in the mid-60s. This is remarkably mild, but when we look back at the two other big storm events that we've seen here in the last 3 to 4 weeks, the key thing had been early morning temperatures near 70. Tonight, we won't be that mild, but we will see those overnight lows well above normal, which again is fuel for thunderstorm activity. And in fact, look at the 24-hour temperature change. We've been up, we've been down. 24 hours ago, I was showing you we were 25 degrees colder than the day before. Now I'm showing you we're 18 degrees milder in Brunswick, Georgia than they were last night at this time. Downtown, about 15 degrees milder, and here's the reason why. Southerly winds pushing across there, and pretty good breeze for the overnight hours. You know, clear skies, calm winds, it's typical because the atmosphere settles, but not when a storm system's coming. When the overnight winds are picking up, that's always a sign that things are about to come on down in the form of showers and storms. So tonight, beautiful warm night, mild temperatures, breezy conditions. It should stay dry overnight, but as you wake up tomorrow morning, a layer of clouds mixing in with some sunshine will be heading towards us. Here's that satellite and radar. This is what we've been tracking all day long. You can see the heavy storms. These are the number of tornadoes that popped up right there near Houston. Not a lot of damage. But note now, look where the thunderstorms are. They are way out here into the Gulf of Mexico. Remember, you're looking at a combination of satellite and radar. The radar beams go straight out in line. So what happens is that after about 100 miles or so, the radar beam is much higher than the surface of the Earth. So when we pick up little yellow patches 100+ miles off the coast, it's an indication these are probably severe thunderstorms right now in the Gulf. And they remain particularly strong right now. So if there's something that I'm really focusing on is the fact that there was an anticipation of the storms to weaken as they came towards us overnight, but now they appear to be hanging in there. So as we look at the forecast from now right on through tomorrow, again, by 8:30 tomorrow morning, cloudy skies in Jacksonville, maybe a few rays of sunshine at the beach. But Richard should be tracking a line of some pretty nasty storms way back out towards Tallahassee. They'll come closer towards us so that by about the lunch hour, we'll get those showers and storms around here. Individual, see the little red dots? See how tiny they are? Well, those would be the possible areas of severe thunderstorms. Not to say they'll be only in those locations, but you can see they're not widespread. So again, some scattered downpours and maybe a severe storm or two, and chilly conditions all the way through the early morning hours. So minimal impact as expected at this point, but isolated severe, some brief intense winds, and just as I've said, 11 a.m. to about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Beautiful tonight, warm breeze out there tomorrow. Passing showers, that's pretty much you'll need the umbrella around the lunch hour. 73, look at that daytime high popping at 80 degrees. It's a Weather Authority alert day, and it's a Wednesday. 8 on the Gone gauge. We'll get winds up to around 30 miles an hour. And again, 45% chance rain's not huge. 65 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Temperatures not bad. Mary, as we head towards the weekend, again, a slight chance of rain. We'll detail that more at 10:40.
Thank you, John. Coming up at 10:45, so much more than a ride on a pony.
We're talking Hope in a Saddle, where a Middleburg organization that helps both children and adults is expanding.
And who teamed up to provide thousands of pounds of protein to feed families in our area? Next.
Weather is brought to you.
Now, Positively Jack's more than 30,000 pounds of chicken, beef, and pork donated today to help local families.
Smithfield Foods joined with Winn-Dixie to help the nonprofit Feeding Northeast Florida. Volunteers helped unload a large truck loaded with meat. The donation is part of the Helping Hungry Homes tour to distribute more protein, which is a limited resource for most food banks.
Hunger has a ripple effect across a number of different things. It affects children and their performance in school. It affects crime. It affects unemployment and worker productivity. So the more balance of a meal that we can provide to a family, the greater impact it's going to have.
The food donated today will be used to make more than 120,000 meals for needy families.
Nearly a dozen men arrested around Jacksonville. How police say they were caught soliciting prostitutes.
And still on edge in Northern California, close to 200,000 residents who fled their homes below the Oroville Dam heading home. Why? Officials say they're not out of the woods yet.
What really impressed me was...
You're watching Channel 4, the local station. Live with Mary Bear, Tom Wills, the Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Gahn, and sports with Sam Kavaris. The 10 o'clock news continues.
A mandatory evacuation order in the area around Northern California's Lake Oroville Dam has been lifted, but nearly 200,000 residents are still not entirely in the clear. State workers are still scrambling to drain water from the lake by 50 feet and repair damage to an emergency spillway before a rainstorm threatens to touch off a catastrophic flood.
President Trump has approved the state's request for an emergency declaration authorizing FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security to coordinate and help with relief efforts. Mary Maloney is following this threatened disaster and has an update.
Residents began to head back to their homes near Lake Oroville, California Tuesday afternoon, 3 days after an emergency evacuation order sent almost 200,000 people scrambling.
We have concluded that it is safe to reduce the immediate evacuation order currently in place to an evacuation warning.
Authorities said Tuesday they are pleased with the progress being made to shore up the Oroville Dam's emergency spillway, as well as the latest inspection report from engineering specialists.
The spillway has been stable for 4 days. That's important for today, in the coming days, as we see small storms coming in, but really preparing also for the remainder of the wet season.
Emergency crews continue to race against Mother Nature to plug the hole with rocks and concrete and drop the lake's water level.
Whatever they need to do, they need to make sure it's right so we're safe so we don't have to repeat this in a couple of days when the next storm hits.
While the next storm is expected to hit the area Wednesday evening, it now looks to be a colder storm with less rain. Good news for residents and crews. The emergency spillway, which is an embankment covered with trees, is a last resort and was used for the first time in its 48-year history on Saturday. I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
White House spokesman Sean Spicer says President Trump was told weeks ago National Security Advisor Michael Flynn had withheld the truth on Russia. The president eventually asked for Flynn's resignation after concluding Flynn could not be trusted. Flynn is accused of lying about a phone conversation during which he discussed sanctions with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. in December, before Mr. Trump took office. Flynn stepped down last night after the president asked him to. He had been on the job less than a month. Mr. Trump has now named retired Lieutenant General Joseph Keith Kellogg as the interim National Security Advisor.
Jury selection will continue tomorrow in the second murder trial for former Gator Aaron Hernandez. He's already serving a life sentence for the murder of Odin Lloyd, a semi-pro football player. Hernandez is being tried in the killings of 2 other men. Both of them were shot and killed in 2012 after they left a Boston nightclub. Testimony is scheduled to begin March 1st.
More local news now. Police arrest a man who was wanted for shooting and wounding a homeowner who walked in on a burglary at his residence in Arlington more than a year ago. 23-year-old Calvin Foster is now charged with attempted murder and armed burglary. Police say back in December 2015, he and an accomplice were burglarizing a home on Weymouth Circle West when the homeowner walked in on them. The homeowner was shot in the arm and taken to the hospital. No word tonight on the suspected accomplice.
A man charged with raping a woman who was pushing a baby in a stroller behind a Bartram Park shopping plaza last year has pleaded guilty. Cyan Henry pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual battery and 1 count of armed robbery. There will be a sentencing hearing March 20th. He is facing life in prison. The man accused of exposing himself to 4 female students at the University of North Florida was in court today. Joseph Jenkins' arraignment was delayed for a few weeks. It's still uncertain who will represent him. The 27-year-old is charged with stalking and multiple counts of indecent exposure. Jenkins is being held in jail on $77,000 bond.
Police have nabbed a man accused of stealing from children right before Christmas. They say 25-year-old Zachary Schultz is the man in these pictures who went into a flame broiler restaurant on Phillips Highway and stole money from a tip jar. The money was being collected by employees to donate to Toys for Tots. Police say they found Schultz while investigating a different theft at a local gas station last Friday night. They say he admitted stealing the money from the flame broiler, saying he saw the coverage of the crime on the news, but didn't know the money was for charity.
A crackdown on prostitution in Duval County, but this time police were targeting men who tried to pay for sex. These 11 men are all charged with soliciting prostitution. Police say each of them agreed to pay a woman for sex, except that woman was an undercover detective. The bust happened yesterday afternoon on Phillips Highway on the south side and on North Main Street in the Brentwood area.
Covering St. Johns County, an update on efforts to make an intersection near Nice High School safer. The Department of Transportation is now going to start work in April to put in a traffic light a few months earlier than originally planned. That is bringing a sigh of relief to parents who say the intersection of US 1 and Ray Road is dangerous and has needed a red light there for a long time. Many say they were already worried about the intersection, but say an accident there last November that critically injured 2 sisters as they were leaving Nice confirmed their worst fears.
Putting a young driver in that situation and asking them to negotiate that properly every single time is really like playing Russian roulette. It's really difficult. It makes life incredibly hard. I have a little extra heartbeat that happens when I do it, and I know I've talked to my kids and they say, you know, they can feel the adrenaline surge as well. It's tough.
State transportation workers say earlier this month they ordered poles where cables with traffic lights will be strung across the intersection. The light at US 1 and Ray Road is expected to be operating by the start of the next school year. The owner of Cruisers Grill at Jacksonville Beach says he's sorry. Bobby Handmaker hand-delivered a letter to the Jacksonville Beach police chief apologizing for what he said to police officers about a ticket and about employees spitting in food ordered by members of law enforcement.
You may remember early last week, 2 officers reported that Handmaker complained to them about a ticket that he'd received for an expired tag, calling the officer who gave him the ticket a bully. Well, that same week, the police chief issued this memo. It's warning officers not to eat at the popular restaurant because Handmaker had claimed employees were spitting in officers' food or would spit in it. At first, Handmaker denied saying it, and now he has admitted he did. Publicity about the spitting comment has hit the restaurant hard. Channel 4's Heather Lee spoke with customers about this latest development.
The owner of Cruisers hopes the community and law enforcement can forgive and forget.
That'd be doubtful, but it would be nice, I guess. It's a small community. It'd be nice for everyone to live in harmony.
Bobby Handmaker addressed the Jacksonville Beach police chief as well as officers he interacted with last week, expressing his sincere regret over the, quote, damage done to the department, my employees, my community, and my family. He went on to say, quote, I wish nothing more than to take back the words I said in a moment of anger and weakness. I take full responsibility for my actions. The letter was posted on the front counter of the Jacksonville Beach location for all customers to see and read in full.
I think what the owner did was pretty unacceptable, but I think that his apology was real and they should probably accept it.
Frederick Matthews wasn't the only one that showed up for a bite to eat. Mick DeRocher came for a sandwich and says, frankly, he forgot about the incident, but doesn't believe business will be affected for too long.
Slowly but surely, the business will trickle back in. If he can hold on that long financially, then, you know, the business will all come back.
Sharon Steelman can't say the same.
Well, I didn't know about this before I ate there, but if I had have known, I probably would not have eaten there because a behavior like that is scary to me, and it's just very immature and just unstable.
Heather Lee, Channel 4, the local station.
Covering St. Johns County now, an update on the number of applications for schools during open enrollment. In total, there are now 58. After day 2 of open enrollment, Durbin Creek has 29 applications compared to 17 yesterday. Rawlings Elementary School has 14 now compared to 10 applications yesterday. Webster Elementary has 7, 2 yesterday, and Murray Middle has 8 compared to 4 yesterday. Until March 10th, parents living outside the county can apply for their child to attend one of 4 county schools that still have seats available. If more students apply for a school than seats are available, there will be a computer-drawn lottery. And to learn more about the lottery and how this whole process works, just head to news4jax.com.
If your credit cards are maxed out and if you're a Jacksonville resident, you have a lot of company.
How Duval County compares to the rest of the state when it comes to credit card debt. Next.
At McCall.
A new study finds Duval County residents carry some of the biggest credit card debt load of people across the state, and people living in St. Johns and Nassau counties are good at keeping it down. The website smartasset.com ranked all of the counties in Florida based on average income and credit card debt load. It found Duval is in the bottom third, ranking 49th out of the state's 67 counties. The average Jacksonville resident, that is, has $2,700 in credit card debt, or 11% of their income. St. Johns County ranks 17th with debt equaling 9% of their income, and Nassau ranks 13th with credit card bills adding up to 7% of their income. If you're looking to pay off your credit card, experts say to follow these 8 steps to reduce that debt. They say to take stock, improve your rates, track your costs, and create a budget. Don't keep your credit cards with you. You will be tempted to use them. Find your motivation and support, and track your progress.
John's going to be tracking some potentially bad weather tomorrow.
You know, the big story here in my mind is that it's going to be very isolated, so a lot of folks will get a good splash of rain, but a few folks get a little extra. And there's the problem. So, you know, try not to over-alert, but I want you to be up to date. There's some pretty nasty weather out there. Take a look at Live 5 Doppler radars. We look at damage reports from today and zooming into where it was the worst, at least it seems like at this point. These little symbols represent the various types of bad weather, and this is one way to track where the severe weather is going to go next, because these storms tend to be long tracking, something that we haven't talked about in a long time. But these are the types of storms we've seen this particular winter, whether it was back in January with the outbreak in South Georgia and even around our part of the area, or even what's happening here today. Some very nasty storms continue to track along the Gulf Coast, and they're kind of aiming our way. Here's Live 5 Doppler radars right now. Not much happening. As we look at the temperatures, though, you can see that it's extremely warm for this time of the year. It's not like as it was in some of the other instances. I mentioned here that when we had the 2 bad tornado outbreaks, early morning temperatures are in the low 70s. Tonight, we're basically the mid-upper 60s. 4 or 5 degrees does make a difference. Today's high temperatures, again, warm, but not record-breaking warmth. 78 degrees. The record high for today is 86 degrees. Could you imagine it being that warm this time of year? But anyway, 78 was the high today, 79 over in Gainesville. The wake-up forecast for tomorrow morning, we start off right now with starry skies and clear conditions at 65. We do just dip down to about 59, but we bounce right back with breezy conditions. Temperature's going to warm up very rapidly. Tomorrow will be a warm day. Here again is the hour-by-hour forecast, and it's 10:30 at night. And Not much happening, but the clouds roll in after around, say, 7 in the morning. High, thin, hazy clouds could lead to a beautiful sunrise coming up here tomorrow morning. But again, at 8:30, storms should be back out to the west. Richard will be tracking these storms as they move across North Florida and South Georgia. And there will be a few individual heavy cells to go through the region. Not every backyard again, but a few locations are going to get a good tussle of wind and rain, and then it rolls off the coast, and this is all before 5:30. So that's the reason why the Weather Authority alert day is basically 11 in the morning all the way to about 5 in the evening, although it could even wrap up sooner than that. Chilly winds, they blow in from the north after the showers come through. Here's another look at the storm tracks. So we'll look at this similar pattern coming up here for tomorrow. And what this forecast model is showing you is that we have an occasional storm here and one there, and maybe one cutting through here. And then everybody else doesn't get a whole lot of rain, and that'll be the case for tomorrow. Again, isolated severe, brief heavy rains, intense storm winds, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, that'll be the worst of it. And by the way, again, it's going to be a Wednesday tomorrow along the coast and offshore. Again, small craft advisory in effect, winds up to around 30 miles an hour, seas running 2 to 3 feet, and that rip current risk will be low because it's an offshore wind. 5 a.m. low tide, high tide coming up around 11, almost noon tomorrow. It's not real bad, but I just want you to be up to date. Lunchtime conditions, picking the kids up from school, things like that. Could be a little bit rough out there. It's a WAD plus a Wednesday 8, still pretty good out there on the Gaugin gauge, and the reasoning there is the fact it's going to be so warm, not record highs, but close to it, 80 degrees. And then heading off towards this weekend, again, the big story here, Monster Jam over at Everbank Field. Thousands and thousands of people will be on out for that. That ought to be a good time. And when you go, don't forget storm pins, because again, you know, we love to see that action, whether it's in the stands or out on the open parts of the field, if you will. All right, we saw this earlier on. Tom, Mary, I called these robins. How wrong could I be? This would be a red tail hawk.
Oh, wow.
A pair of them on Valentine's Day. I always thought they were not friendly to each other. That's the reason why I went robin.
They look friendly in that picture.
Well, maybe they're
Valentine's,
dating.
That's right. But speaking of spring, we go from birds to flowers to bees.
Yes.
Nice.
Birds and bees.
We're glad you put the flowers between the other two.
Wow. Very nice, Tom. Orange trees looking big and bright for some folks around town as they, again, spring is right around the corner. Pollen beginning to pick up big time. We'll talk more about that later. Storm pins. Download the app. It's all free. And track those storms tomorrow with care. Be careful when you see some of that wild weather head your way.
Thank you, John. And now, Positively Jax in St. Johns County. Hope Therapy is a group that's dear to my heart. And as you can see right here, they are featured in an article in today's Florida Times Union. See, it's now a healing place in St. Johns County. The nationally accredited organization has expanded from Middleburg to the Switzerland portion of St. Johns County. Hope Therapy offers physical and emotional therapy on horseback to children and adults with various diagnoses. There are lots of hugs given from the rider to the horse. Sweet Dolly here on the receiving end. And much of the physical therapy is done on horseback with a crew of experts and volunteers right there alongside to make sure the rider stays safe. And here you can see another one of Hope Therapy's latest clients. This is 5-year-old Gilly trying to lead Dolly the pony to her mom's car so she can take her home.
Come on.
Come on, I want her home. You just saw Ozzy, who was the little boy who was just on Dolly a moment ago too. And the children and adults Hope Therapy serves are being treated by a physical therapist outside of the doctor's office, in the fresh air, in the sunshine, on the back of a horse. I mean, what could be better? On a personal note, as you'll read in this article here, my husband and I are honored to be able to host Hope Therapy at our home in St. Johns County, and we're looking forward to helping serve as many as young riders as our pony Dolly can carry, and as many hugs and kisses from the clients as she can handle.
I've had the pleasure of visiting the program and seeing the children, and the thing that struck me, Mary, is the joy on their faces when they find that they can do something that maybe they didn't think they would be able to do. It's almost a bond that they form with the animals. It's just beautiful.
Beautiful thing. And like you said, joy, that is the word. They feel so good, and it truly helps in their therapy. It's just all over, it's a blessing. I feel very fortunate to be able to be involved.
Thanks for sharing it with us. Speaking of joy, only thing better than a 6-game winning streak is a 7-game winning streak.
And that's what the Gators were trying for tonight on the road, Sam.
And they are making a case for a pretty high seed. If they keep playing like this, the Gators will not be ignored. We'll show you what happened in Auburn tonight right after the break. There were only 2 negatives when it came to tonight's game against Auburn on the road. One is, as we look at Brian Jackson, who we will see a little bit later. There's Auburn. Hey, well, I guess the 2 negatives are Kenyon Berry ended up missing a free throw after 42 straight, and John Igbunu goes down with a knee injury, and he'll have a little MRI tomorrow. We'll see how serious that is. He did not return after going into the locker room. Casey Hill to Devin Robinson on the alley-oop to tie the game at 50 at half. And then the second half, Florida goes on a run. Chris Chiozza gives Florida a 59-50 lead, and the Tigers had no answer for Berry, who comes off the bench. A three-pointer here. He had a game-high 30. The Gators scored more points than they ever have in an SEC game. 114 to 95. 7 in a row, 21-5, 11-2 in the conference, still tied for first. They're on the road still at Mississippi State coming up on Saturday. Stanton girls are on the road, the soccer team, but it happens to be in the state championship game this week as they play on Friday morning at 10 o'clock versus Merritt Island down in DeLand. The Stanton girls are a team that relies on how well they know each other. In fact, they say they're so close-knit, they can almost tell what each other is doing on the field before it happens.
This team is so close, and that's why we've been so successful. So, like, just the program has, like, started to work together and making the girls closer, and, like, that's where the success lies.
1, 2, 3, Devils! We have sleepovers together. We eat lunch together. We pretty much spend, like, every day after school together. We love being together. We're sisters.
All right, now time for Brian to step into the batting cage because it was baseball media day over at JU today. Brian shows off the swing that you would expect of a guy who grew up in Chicago and spent much of his professional career in Washington, both baseball towns these days. But media day also included the stars of the JU baseball team with a new head coach. And Brian reports that they're all ready to go.
At JU, all of the players feel that the school hit a home run by naming Chris Hayes their head coach.
Winning is like the only thing. Like, losing is not acceptable. Like, we almost hate to lose when we like to win.
Years before, we haven't done everything with a purpose, and some days have been lax, and now everything's done with a purpose, and we get things done every day.
Not included in the job description for Coach Hayes is helping out a local sportscaster with his swing. Jacksonville always has been and always will be home for new Dolphins head coach Chris Hayes. He played his high school ball at Inglewood before eventually becoming both a player and assistant coach here at JU. And he feels like the style that he wants his team to play with perfectly matches his personality.
This is not a park where we're going to be able to, hit 5, 6 home runs in a game. We got to play to the park and who we are. But really, a team that prides itself on an old school National League style.
He expects a lot more of us, makes us come out with a different level of intensity every day, and I think we'll win more ball games because of it.
This weekend, the Dolphins will open up their 2017 season at a tournament in Jackson, Mississippi. Brian Jackson, Channel 4, the local station.
To translate old school National League style, it usually doesn't include a designated hitter and a lot of 2-to-1 games, for which you need some excellent pitching. Good luck to them as they plan a tournament this weekend. The 10 o'clock news will continue right after the break.
Jacket,
Church, singing, and sex. That's what a Georgia couple says is the key to staying together.
And they should know because they are celebrating 75 years of marriage. Robert and Esther Walker eloped on Friday the 13th, 1942. He was 20, she was 17. Oh, wow. 7 months later, he was sent off to the Army to fight in World War II. He says he'll never forget the day he met the love of his life while walking to church. The Walkers have always kept their faith at the center of their family and their relationship. Asked their secret to 75 years of marriage, they both giggled when Mrs. Walker said, quote, "A good sex life helps." That story is our Valentine on behalf of all of us here at Channel 4 to all of you.
They figured it out.
They did. Stay with us. There's more to come.
The news continues with Kent and Joy.
Live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
City Council chambers and the library both filled as people watch an historic vote. 12-6, City Council passes a bill to expand anti-discrimination rights to the LGBT community. Supporters celebrating just across the street in Hemming Park.
The vote expands protections for the gay, lesbian, bisexual community in Jacksonville. The city is one of the last in the nation to have these protections in place.
We now know the measure will become law. Mayor Lenny Curry indicated he's not going to veto it. There was a lot of celebration after the vote. People dancing in the streets right across from City Hall.
And our coverage tonight continues with Channel 4's Jim Piggott, who spoke with supporters and those against the newly passed law. Jim is joining us live from City Hall.
You know, that party is over for right now. The meeting adjourned. City council members are glad it's over. Supporters are glad it passed. Council chambers were filled to capacity. The overflow room at the library also very crowded. And then with the final vote and the passage of the HRO amendment, the seriousness of the meeting changed. Right after the vote, this is what erupted in Hemming Park, just across the street from City Hall. And what basically they're doing is celebrating because they said we've gone too long without an HRO amendment that would protect gays, lesbians, and transsexuals.
This is just an amazing turn of events for this city.
Not everyone is smiling. There were those on hand who say this amendment is going to hurt religious organizations and small businesses.
I feel like the citizens of Jacksonville have been let down. I'm glad, frankly, that a vote has been made because it tells the citizens of Jacksonville where these council members stand.
Councilman Aaron Bowman, who introduced the latest legislation, says the victory tonight nearly brought him to tears.
This is an emotional issue. When you look at our population, maybe 40 or 50,000 people have been discriminated against, and tonight we said that's not going to happen again.
Councilman Bill Gulliford was trying to have the bill defeated. Isn't so sure about that.
Nothing prevents a council member from bringing it up a year or so from now and offering changes, amendments, and the like to it, maybe even revoking it.
But those who have been trying to get this measure passed for years say the city is moving forward.
It's really gratifying to see such amazing support from this council. Obviously, they have paid attention to the thousands and thousands of constituent contacts that they've gotten. They've listened to the over 700 business leaders.
And of course, there was concern that Mayor Curry could veto this, but as you had mentioned, his office sent down a message that he wasn't signing the bill, but did send it back to City Council, where now it will become law. Live at City Hall, Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Jim, you reported on City Councilman Gulliford's effort to take this to the voters. Well, at this point, could things change? Could this still end up as a referendum?
Well, you know, anything could happen. If they get enough signatures, that could happen. But the only thing is, it wouldn't change what City Council did. If they got that referendum on the ballot and it passed, it would only change the city charter. And that brings up a whole host of questions. And they're not exactly sure if it could change that part of the HRO bill. Ken?
All right, thank you. Jim Piggott reporting live from downtown tonight.